Well, good evening, everybody, and it's so good to see so many of you join us this evening. As you know, this is Team Eagle's Monday evening Zoom, and we are Mick and Jenny Daly, National Marketing Directors in your support line, living in the beautiful mountains of Colorado. And tonight we are continuing our series with Team Eagle's leaders, training on a specific topic, so it's not all about us. And tonight's call is all about the importance of connection calls. But first, Mick, let's take a look at the contest and see where we are. We're getting close to the end of the month. And Mick, you are muted.
Let's do that. So here we are, leading the pack by a mere 40 points. Amanda Schneider. Denise Feigem is working hard to keep up and hopefully get ahead if she can. And Linda Miller is moving up the leaderboard fast as well. So congrats to all those who are listed here, and we will close out the business on the 1st of December, which is Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So you have a few more days left.
Awesome. All right, congratulations, Amanda. So before I introduce our speakers tonight, I say speakers, I know Linda is with us. I'm not sure that Becky has joined us yet, but I want to acknowledge somebody special on the call tonight. Many of you see a familiar face in the form of Janet Taylor. Now we are privileged to have both Janet and Garth this evening. And the reason I wanted to mention Garth is that rumor has it that after 51 years in the brick industry, this week you are retiring. Is this correct? Yeah. So definitely something to celebrate. Now, Garth is a sales coordinator in his own right. I know we often hear a lot more about his wife, Janet, who is awesome as well. But I know Garth is very excited now about having more free time so that he can pursue this Juice Plus business along with his lovely wife. So Garth, we're happy you could join us this evening. And in fact, next week we're going to be hearing from Janet. She'll be our trainer. And who knows, maybe Garth's going to be part of that as well. I don't know. We'll see.
Garth, let us hear your dulcet tones.
Thank you very much for those kind words. I'm looking forward to my new life.
Looking forward to your life. I love that.
Sounds like he's hedging his bets.
Mick, I remember saying to you, I must have been about 10 conferences ago, where in a state of great enthusiasm and inspiration, I turned to you and I said, wow, maybe I should just jump in and start this now. And you said to me, you are in a stage of transition. You are making yourself ready for that final stage of your life. And I think you were right. And that was sound advice.
Well, I'm excited for you, Garth, and for you, Janet. I look forward to breaking out some good beer to celebrate sometime soon.
Will do.
Great.
Now, Jenny's muted.
Oh, thank you. You've heard us say before, Garth, that we are as retired as we ever wish to be. And this business gives us the finances to enjoy that retirement, but also gives us a sense of purpose too. So every day is a good day. All right, moving right along. This evening, we are very excited to hear from Linda Miller. Linda, is Becky with us or not?
I texted her. I know she's had a lot of family stuff going on. She's not replying, so she might not be on.
She's not on.
No, well, not to worry. I know you will do an awesome job. I just wondered whether to introduce both of you or not. I'll focus on you this evening. So we're very happy that you've agreed to do this. Linda is a nurse. She lives in Delaware. She and her husband have 3 sons, and we were very privileged to spend time with them in September. This past September, we were up there, and they made us very welcome. and they are setting Delaware on fire. So this evening, Linda is going to share with us the importance of using connection calls, or what we used to call three-way calls, in helping to build our businesses. So Linda, over to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I got started, when I first got started, I was on a three-way call. And you know, when I got off that, Mick, I was so encouraged, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, you know, I can do this. And I remember how it made me feel. And so, and then I was on a three-way call with Nicole, and the same thing. When I got off of that, I was like, wow, you know, I just found it very encouraging. And as I read through, and I'm going to share the screen in a few minutes, because Mick, you've really set up on Team JP. I mean, there's script, there's resources, the three-way connections sheet, the profile, you know, when you're filling out for a potential new team member. That's all on there. I'll share it. But I wanted to kind of just encourage everyone, because as I have adopted this into, as I get new team members, that is my first thing I'm asking them. Hey, I'd love for you to meet. And then based on, I'm kind of learning personalities between you and Jenny. And I started thinking, who would they best connect with? And then I go from there. So one of the first ones that I did was Becky, who joined the team like only a month after I did. But she was struggling, and she just wasn't sure if she really wanted to move forward. She's just kind of thinking, you know, I just want to offset the family's cost. But I could see in her, and honestly, you guys, and you know what, let me share the screen really quick. And hopefully I will do this. Okay. This, well, let me go to on teamjp.net. Can you see that okay? Oh, please tell me I didn't lose.
Mick, you are muted.
Oh, okay, you scared me. I thought I lost everybody.
No. Okay, it's coming up now.
Okay, do you see it?
Well, we can only see part of it.
Okay, well, it's teamjp.net/3-way.
Okay,
and
let me share my screen, because I've got it already. Okay. There it is. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, I see it now. So what I like about this is that it takes you just step by step on why the importance of doing the three-way calls, which I always try to do by Zoom so that we can see each other. I just think that's really important. And I think for the most part on all of them, we've been able to do that. I mean, I know it's okay if you do it like an audio, but I've really tried with each of my team members to do a video if at all possible. So Becky was the first one that I had her do a three-way call. And I don't know if you remember, Jenny, but that was with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it went great. She hung up from that call. And I wish that she was able to be on tonight. But when she hung up from that call, she was really inspired and encouraged. And on that page, Mick, you have what it means to edify. And, you know, we talk about it scripturally in the Bible, but it is to encourage and make you feel empowered and strengthened. And when that call ended, Becky felt the same way that I had when I got off the call with you, Mick. So I realized that it's such a valuable tool. And so far, I have done that with each of my team members. And I'll be honest, some of them, I know I am like Sandy's on tonight. For a year, I worked on this girl, getting her on a three-way call with you, Nick. because her availability, and then she wasn't sure she even wanted anything to do with it because just bad timing. And so every once in a while I would just check in with her, and eventually, this just happened, last week, Mick?
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get her on the 3-way call. And I honestly, and I told her later, and I know I texted you, Mick, I was like, oh, that did not go as I thought it was going to go. But it did. It actually, I didn't think that it was going well. But Mick, if you're okay with me sharing, you stopped midway through the call, and you knew that Sandy was a Christ follower just like us. And you said, I need to pray. And you started praying for her. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've never had that happen on a 3-way call. But it was so appropriate for what was going on. And what I have really gotten out of these 3-way calls is that people are brought in and made to feel like they are part of the team. I also feel like it's really encouraging to them when we're going to be in touch and on a video call with, Mick or Jenny. They're national marketing directors. They're at the top of the marketing plan. They've been with the company for over 25 years. And they're hearing this going, oh my gosh, I get to meet a person at that level and get to talk to them. And so I really feel like it makes the person that we're doing the call with feel valuable. Like, yes, you are part of our team now, and you do get to meet and talk and be encouraged by our national marketing directors. So I wanted to say that too. And I was listening to one of the audios and it's on the page, the teamjp.net, she's on Wendy Campbell's team, the audio that you have on there, Mick, and she was saying that it's the power of 2 people to influence that third person. And that's what I've been able to sit back and watch as, if it's Mick or if it's Jenny, they're saying, and I'm going, yes, yes, and I'm nodding, and we're encouraging that third person as the call goes on. And I'm listening as vision is being casted, and I'm seeing that the person that third person that's on there is starting to catch the vision. And that it encourages me every time I get someone on a 3-way call. My sister-in-law, Cherie, is here tonight, and it was so funny, Jenny. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but when she came over to my house, because she wasn't used to all the technology stuff yet, I said, well, just come over and we'll both jump on my computer. And she literally said to me right before we got on the call with you, look, I love my job. I don't see myself quitting it. But, just to help pay for my product would be great. Okay, fast forward like 20 minutes later, and I hear her saying to Jenny, I think I could be NMD within 3 years. And I'm like, where did that come from? Just 20 minutes ago, you didn't want to quit your job and you didn't see yourself doing anything except trying to help pay for your product. And now you're setting a goal for NMD in 3 years, and she's not stopped. She is motivated, and she is like, I am going for it. I am going to do this. I feel like this is just, I know everybody else probably uses the 3-way call, but to me, I feel like I have found such a powerful tool. And then I keep implementing them, because Nicole is great about jumping on a 3-way call and, going over things that I'm not as strong or as comfortable in. And so I ask her if she'll come in, and she's always more than willing. So I just continue to see this is such a powerful tool, and I don't know, how many people are implementing it or want to, but I really do feel like every team member that I have now that has been on a 3-way call, it has changed them in some way. Michelle, she was going to try to be on tonight. She had been taking the product and doing really well and having great results. I'm sorry?
She is on.
Oh, good. Thanks for being on, Michelle.
In case she wants
and
to. Yeah, she does
I'm
just
getting
stuff.
Okay, great. Michelle, you were on with Jenny. We did a 3-way call with Jenny. Do you remember that call?
When you asked me to remember, I'm like, oh my gosh, that seems so long ago. I remember being on the phone call and kind of being the same way, like you said, Cherie was, like, just like, yeah, as long, if I could get enough to pay for my product, that kind of thing, that would be, that would be cool. If not, oh well, what I've had as far as my health and the improvements, it's worth it to me no matter what. So as time went on, and, I think it's kind of like you said, with when you have that other person talking with you and, the three of you are talking and you have that other person, echoing or agreeing or everything with what you're talking to, it just gives you more, I guess, more belief in the product, more belief in the mission, more belief in everything. I think the more people that as you get into business and more and more people and you hear their stories, you buy into it more, you believe it more, and I think you have to believe it before you can share it. So I think, part of that 3-way call is kind of opening that door a little bit to seeing that, there are a lot of other people in this around the world and, as successful as Mick and Jenny are. So you can really do whatever you want with the business, do enough to pay for your own product or make a nice salary out of it or a second income, whichever you prefer to do. So I think, the 3-way call helps with that, helps with maybe like, the reality of, okay, I could do this, and I think going to conference also helps with that because there's so many people there and there's so much energy and positive and everyone's so like nice. Like I don't like of the 10,000s of people that were there, I mean, everyone was so nice and supportive and positive and, it's just a totally different atmosphere than anything I'd ever experienced. So, I think that goes to show what kind of company it is as well.
And, I didn't know you I didn't know you at all when we first got started. And so over this time, I've gotten to know you. And it was after the 3-way call that I started feeling a little bit braver about asking you to go to conference.
Right.
Because I didn't know you really well. I knew you had a lot of, challenges and things going on. But after that 3-way call, and I just felt like, oh, wow, that you and Jenny really clicked. And then I had the guts to ask you if you would go to conference, and you said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so now I just get so excited when you text me and go, I signed up another customer.
Yeah. It is exciting. And it's funny because sometimes it's the people that you least expect that end up your customer. And you're like, well, I wasn't even going for that person. I was going for this person. And, so it's kind of like you can't even predict who it's going to be. You just keep feeding, the information and sharing and, talking about different things. And I guess whenever it hits them at the right moment, then they'll say, hey, remember when you were talking about that stuff, and then it kind of goes from there. So,
yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
So can I jump in and make a quick comment, Linda? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much done.
I don't know why my picture isn't coming up, but it's not coming up. Doesn't matter. So one thing I wanted to point out for those of you who don't know, Linda's upline, Nicole Helmstetler, is in Phoenix, Arizona, several thousand miles away from you in Delaware. we are here in the mountains of Colorado, several thousand miles away from you in Delaware. And one of the things that these connection calls, these three-way calls, especially using Zoom, one of the things that that's done is it's made it possible for you to connect, for you to connect with me and with Nicole when you need coaching, for you to connect your team with Jenny and me and Nicole, which has made a big difference, right?
It has. It has. I don't think I would be where I am or feeling as confident as I do most of the time if I didn't have that ability to connect. I just don't think it would be. I don't think I would have done as well. I know I wouldn't have. Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to point out is that one of the things that has changed in me over the many years is that back in those first few years after I left IBM and we first started this business, if I was going to a meeting, I would go with a very clear agenda. And I would stick to the agenda. And then it took a few years before I realized that's not a good idea. I need to relax. I need to stop having an agenda and just have a good conversation and let the conversation flow. And so that's one of the things I want people who haven't tried this to understand. I know that there are certain things I'm going to want to do on these calls, but I'm very relaxed about it. And one of the things I try to do as best I can is to ask good questions. And just keep asking questions so that the third party, the person who you want to connect with me or with Jenny, so that they feel, absolutely they feel that I'm interested in knowing them, getting to know them. I want to learn more about them. And then sometimes I won't go very far in terms of casting vision or sharing our story or any of that stuff. Sometimes I'll stop way short, like I did with Sandy, because it just didn't feel appropriate to take it any further. Other times, I think you were probably shocked a couple of days ago when you got Mark on a three-way Zoom with me, and I was very pushy with Mark.
Yeah, you were.
I kept asking him why, and he kept giving me the same old, oh, it's a great product, and I want lots of people I know to be healthy, and I kept saying, yeah, Mark, that's fine, but. And so if I feel so inclined, I will push to try to help that person see the bigger picture, see that there is a much bigger opportunity here, and but I will leave it very much up to how it feels. So I want people to know when you ask Jenny or me to do a three-way connection call, like Linda's explained, we will very much play by ear. We won't push hard most of the time. But if I'm on with another guy, then I can be a guy talking to a guy, and I can say, okay, Linda, close your ears, and I'll try and draw him out as best I can.
Well, if I can follow on from that, you talk about the importance of asking questions, and I have to credit Karen Ord, who's on the call tonight as well, because Karen was meeting with a prospect just on Saturday morning, I believe. And she reached out to me, and the first thing she said was, I know I need to ask him a lot of questions. So she wanted a little bit of help, in what are the kind of questions I should be asking him. And she had a very successful time with him. He signed up as a rep. And the next step is, guess what? It'll be a three-way connection call with Mick, a guy and another guy. So these connection calls, they're so important. And it's interesting, Linda, you assume that because you do them and you do them extremely well, you assume that everybody does them. I think you would be amazed at how few people really utilize this particular tool. And I think sometimes it's they're a little bit hesitant they don't know what they're going to say. They just feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I know that Melinda Prenwelby, who's also on the call tonight, Melinda went through the Brave Leaders program recently. And she told me that the thing that she really got out of that was the importance of these connection calls. And during that time, we did a number of connection calls, the two of us with her prospects. And she told me that it made a huge difference to her business. So those of you who are on the call tonight or listening to this recording, do not underestimate the power of these connection calls. We are not here brandishing a stick and saying, come on, do it, do it. But please reach out to us because we're very available and we would love to help.
So I apologize for interrupting, Linda, but please continue and say whatever else you'd like to say.
That was really it. I appreciate what's up at teamjp.net. The profile sheet, I think that is really helpful. And there's a link to click on teamjp.net for that. But it gets me thinking each time I'm, with customers or prospects is, are they experiencing great results? Are they entrepreneurish? Are they health conscious? And I can kind of start thinking all those things, and then I shoot you a text and that's the other thing. I go online and check your calendar, which is teamjp.net/CAL. And then I can see what your calendar is, what your availability and what Jenny's availability is. I have Nicole's on my phone, so I can just click on it. And it's a great way to be able to just line up calendars and say, yes, okay, they're available. Here we go. And we set it up. And I find it a very valuable tool. I don't really think my team would be doing as well as they are if we weren't implementing that. I do feel very strongly about it. So I'm glad that I got to do the training for this particular topic.
You were the perfect person to do it, Linda.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your words of wisdom. We have a couple of minutes left. If anybody has a pressing question, if you'd like to comment or ask Linda anything, unmute yourself, bottom left-hand corner, and go ahead.
I'd like to make a comment. Every now and again, having been the third party in a three-way call or a three-way talk, I've so often found that I've been able to say things, ask things, comment very much more sort of heavily, like Mick was saying earlier on. And that to me is always the value of the third party, because recently I was able to ask questions that the new rep's mother, if you can call it that, in the business was not able to ask. And she was quite taken aback. And all of a sudden the conversation went in a different way. And this new person joined up as a rep. So you can be direct because there's no push for you to be selling anything. And that is the value of the third party. There's no sort of sales push, nothing hardline. You're just curious. You're just interested.
Thank you, Janet. Anybody else?
Jenny, one thing that I Brave Leader program was that how valuable they are for a variety of different reasons, not just as we typically use them with new reps, but as Mick has on Team Eagle's website, they're awesome for customer appreciation, for prospects, business prospects, as well as product prospects. I think that's one of the things I have not used them as much in those other ways, and they're very, very effective. Both of y'all have done those for me in other situations besides just new reps.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, good point, Linda. Thank you. One more. Nope. Okay. Well, again, thank you everybody for joining us. Great job, Linda. Thank you so much. I know that some time is involved in preparing for these specific topics. You did a wonderful job. And next week, we look forward to hearing from none other than Janet Taylor, Dr. Janet Taylor. who is going to be sharing a little bit more about not only connection calls, but the part they play in the 2000 plus, because we've heard about the HOP, keeping the business off with a healthy living plan, but we don't stop there. We always encourage new reps to go ahead with their second promotion to virtual franchisee to get a $250 bonus and to complete their 2000 plus. So we look forward to next week, Janet, hearing more about that from you. Thank you so much, everybody. We trust you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. The holidays are here, but don't lose sight of your business. It's a wonderful time to be meeting a lot of people and at least sowing some seeds here, knowing that as we move on into the first of the year, typically that is a wonderful time for our kind of business when everybody is very focused on health and nutrition and also making more money. So thank you so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you same time, same place next week.
Thanks again, Linda. God bless everybody.
Thank you.